Hi Sagittarius, and welcome to the Mother Tressa channel. If you're already familiar with this space, then you already know what to expect, so welcome back. But if you are new to this channel, then welcome in. Sorry if this is distracting. I pray that you are comfortable enough with yourself wherever you lie energetically on the spectrum right now to feel safe enough to be yourself, be it positive, negative, or neutral. That really doesn't concern me so long as you leave this space feeling better than you came, okay? That you take something away from this. If you feel like you need to dive deeper, I am here for you. So just hit me up. I leave my email in the description box, and then we can go from there as far as figuring out what your actual need is, as far as us cultivating a session that will work best for you. So like this video, share it with other Sagittarians that you know in the meantime, and if you like the vibe, then definitely subscribe and hit that post notification bell so you're made aware as soon as I upload a reading and you never miss it. Okay, let's get into it. As I was looking at today's transits and shuffling the cards, I heard the word flabbergasted, but then as I really looked at the transits, what came through intuitively as a message was being careful that you are not surrounding yourself with individuals that have an inflated sense of self and or others, and how you may be perceiving others, that you put them on a pedestal that they don't necessarily deserve to be in. Okay, as far as the transits, if you're curious, the sun is in the zodiac sign of Virgo. We're still in Virgo season by Western astrology, but it's at the 25th degree now. It's progressed a couple degrees since the last reading I uploaded, which I believe was it Libra? Who did I upload? Or Aries, that video. So that 25 is an Aryan degree, right? So you have that influence there. The moon is in Libra at the 2nd degree, Taurus's influence. Mercury is in Libra at the 18th degree, more Virgo energy. And then you have Venus in Leo now at the 12th degree, which is that Piscean influence here. Okay, first card out is the Two of Pentacles. So again, this can deal with learning how to be a little bit more objective when it comes to certain situations that you might find yourself in. And or just making sure that you have all of the facts before making a decision, right? A judgment, because that can also come through with Pentacles coin energy and communicating with other people, right? Once it comes to the point that you have to collaborate with another individual, then you no longer can hold that superiority complex, right? And or just be egoic in the way that you go about things and just feel like everything has to go according to how you plan and perceive it, but being mindful of the other person and the creative perspective that they can also offer, and add texture and contrast to potentially whatever it is that you're building together here. All right, so this can also be in terms of money, what you're dealing with here. But let's take a closer look. You have the Wheel of Fortune that came up in reverse, followed by the Two of Wands upright, the King of Cups in reverse, and the Judgment card in reverse. Didn't I say something about making a decision? Are you making a fair assessment, Sagittarius? Okay, you guys are the centaurs. You guys hold that bow and arrow. So when you shoot and you make a claim, is it something that is being shot out of actual fact and or your opinion? Okay, and or an assumption that you may have about a particular person, place, or thing. This can extend outside of a connection that you can have with another individual here. You guys are very good for being philosophical in thought. So let's put a little bit more of that into practice, right? Returning to your true nature and that archetype of the mentorship that you can also provide, right? The solace and the comfort that you can also provide to other people. Of course, when it's needed, you have to be careful not to do it in excess, because then you are dabbling on the lines of being an enabler to those that may try to take advantage of that trait, right? So I feel like with this energy here, you're just establishing what your boundaries are, what they look like, you know, and maybe redefining certain principles or laws or regulations, ideologies that you may have, things that might be outdated, right? That just aren't doing great service to you and those that may lie within your circle of influence, okay? With this Wheel of Fortune in reverse here. For some of you guys, how I'm interpreting this with the Two of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and then the Two of Wands is something that maybe you passed up before is coming back around the mountain here. It could be like a job offer, a certain field of study that maybe you were trying to go into at one point, but then lost interest in. I feel like this is like a second chance of sorts. Some of you Sagittarians are going to be dealt a second chance by the universe. Something that you have denied, something that maybe you internally just weren't at a point that you were ready to accept. If not about yourself, then this person, place, or thing, right? You could have scared yourself out of a potential opportunity. Well, the universe is coming back around to kind of tell you, like, look, you know, as people say, and as is in the Bible, you know, God's not going to give you more than you can handle. The universe is not going to dish out more than what you can take. Again, all of this is like for character building of sorts, you know, building that tough skin so that you are fully prepared for what you are actually called to do as far as your destiny is concerned, Sag, okay? So it's just about opening your heart up and being receptive. Some of you guys, what's coming around is a person from the past that you've had some sort of a relationship with here, with this Two of Pentacles, that is wanting to issue an apology, you know, to make some sort of amends in order to see if there's any chance that they could still have access to you in whatever way that I guess you would feel most comfortable with, because the ball is essentially in your court at the end of the day with this here. But are you emotionally mature enough? Are you in a space where you are emotionally available enough to hear this person out, right? But again, just being that you guys become defensive once you get hurt, you can be trying to really gauge whether or not whatever this person has to say is sincere. And I feel like if you get the slightest sense that this person's trying to give you the runaround or BS you here in some way or manipulate you in some way, I feel like you're going to be a little bit more intolerant. That I can definitely see that with the Two of Wands and the King of Cups here. When it comes to actually letting them finish whatever it is that they have to say, you might be cutting people off at this time, creating some sort or sense of separation between you and somebody that does care a lot about you. But at the end of the day, if all they have to bring to the table is love, that might not be enough. You know what I mean? You can't build a house off of love. You have to actually have some sort of skill set. You know what I mean? But that could be on the table, somebody wanting to come in and offer an apology. But if you are going to be in defense mode, I don't feel like you will take it. You have the Ace of Cups in reverse at the bottom of the deck, Sag, with the Knight of Cups and the Six of Cups. Some of you guys are just being really practical and realistic about the way that a situation played out and the role that you really served in that. So again, when it goes back to what I was saying in the beginning with that inflated sense of self or others and how you may perceive them to be, maybe going into a certain situation romantically with someone, you put them again on a pedestal where you were just like, oh, this is my man, or this is the person that I have interest in, and may have confided in people that you're close with, family, relatives, second house type of thing, siblings or whatever. Just when you guys have that like I guess breakdown of the day and you're chit-chatting about what's going on in your life, anything that's new, and they come up as far as you being like, oh, I really like them, or in your head just inflating the situation, even though you guys only met up like once a week or once a month, and it was more so like at night, and you really didn't have their full undivided attention. But to you, because they gave you attention at all, you kind of latched on to that, and that's where like your hope stemmed from. And so you gave so much of yourself, because you guys can be passionate as well, when you do decide to invest in somebody, but lo and behold, to them, you were more so of a fling. And so if that's kind of what happened, where you thought more of the situation than what it actually was, I feel like you are now having that moment of realization, and just like really with clear eyes, right? Just being like, okay, I jumped too far ahead of myself. My eyes were kind of bigger than my stomach with these cards here, the Two of Pentacles, Wheel in reverse, and the Two of Wands. I let my passions get ahead of me before thinking it through, before really having those clarifying conversations, ensuring that I was on the same page with the person, type of thing. And so, okay, now I understand where I went wrong. I'm going to give myself this time to heal, maybe close myself off. That could be what you guys are doing, or thinking to yourself, like, I really don't need to put myself out there right now. I really need to dedicate more of this time to, again, just looking within, and being able to filter through the feelings that I have for this person and letting them subside before I decide to step back out into the dating realm. And I'm okay with that. For the first time in a long time, I'm okay with rediscovering who I am and making sure that I don't lose myself, my sense of identity, in these connections that I have with other people, that they're really only going to serve as an enhancement to my life, right? In addition to my life, but not as a substitute of what I may lack, They're not here to compete with me. I'm not here to compete with anybody but myself at this time. I'm not here to cater to anybody but myself at this time. I feel like unless it's about work, you guys are going to be a little bit more selfish with who you give your energy to, right? Who you share your energy with. And I feel like that's really, that's great for you Sagittarians, because the ones that I know, you guys tend to be ride or dies, but typically for the wrong people. And so by the time that you guys finally awaken to the fact that you just can't please everybody, and at some point, if you aren't happy, then there's always going to be that level or of underlying resentment that can build up because you are sacrificing too much of yourself. This can be Martyr energy, right? That Cups energy, giving me very much Pisces. I need to do their reading next. But where you just sacrifice to the point that you are empty, you have nothing else to give, I think it's really special once you guys really, really come to that awareness of yourself, and learn to, again, be firm about what it is that you will allow on any level in your life. Money, it's coming in, but it's slow. I feel like you can be tinkering with certain ideas. This is very lower level business stages if you're starting a new project. Though you are very excited about the potential of it, you don't really have any buyers, like investors. You might not even have a business name. And I'm only saying that because I'm in the works with my sister. We've been talking back and forth about a certain idea that we have, and that's where we're stuck at. So that's where you can be like, okay, we need a business name. We need to know what the mission statement is for the business, or that's where you are. I need to know like just how much I might need as far as a loan, so you're still working everything out right now. Everything is really fresh and new. So though it's okay to share joy in the things that are going well in your life, just be very tight-lipped when it comes to the overall picture and idea that you have. Be careful who it is that you share it with, because somebody can be trying to rob you of that joy. I'm getting like peeping Tom energy, somebody that's like listening in on a certain conversation out of your own excitement, and or just a slip of the lip, like you can't hold water due to your own excitement. So you might be doing this about somebody else's idea, which can backfire at the end of the day. So just be very careful with that, who you share your news with, until of course you have that patent and or things are confirmed. It's kind of something that's more set in stone before running your mouth again, not allowing yourself to get too ahead of yourself before it's time. because you know the mouth you can curse yourself with the things that you speak. So yeah, just be very careful with that. Their spirituality, I feel like you guys are being called. Like, I feel like you are being beckoned to be more grounded and find a routine with your spiritual practice, because I feel like you guys teeter. So you do well for a few days and then you fall off for a couple of weeks. There's no consistency there. Again, this is very fresh, new, naive energy, innocent energy, and so that has to really be protected and cultivated in order for you to really build up the discipline that's required for your spiritual practice. So that's where some of you guys are in regards to that. So if you're trying to manifest things and you notice that nothing's really happening in your life, you've kind of hit a plateau, and or you get very small accolades and or accomplish small things, but you're still waiting for that big break, it's because you continually ask for the universe, but you're not really spending time with source. And so you know, you have to honor that which became before you in order for certain blessings to be unleashed to you. So that's what's coming through for that. If you're already in a relationship, I feel like you guys are on separate schedules or separate pages. One of you guys is more grounded, whereas the other one is more so wanting to be more spontaneous and or set out on new adventures, kind of like, I want to say freedom fighter, that came through, so however that applies in your situation. Whereas the other person's a little bit more practical and or wanting to be more budget conscious and or do more family oriented activities, whereas the other one's kind of more so like, oh, I want to do solo, like again on this period or in this space of self-discovery. So can be a little bit of friction going on between you and someone that you are already committed to, and so at this time I just feel like you guys just need to confront the demons, right? The root of the problem and where that stems from, why A feels like they need to be here whereas the other one is more so here, but it's just a switching of poles. Maybe gender roles are switching as well, right? That can definitely come through here. But that's just what happens. Everybody moves into certain stages at different points. And so as long as you guys can continue to support each other while you guys go through these phases, right, then all is well. Just being a little bit more compassionate and sensitive to, again, the needs of other people. That came through with Aries reading, so you might be dealing with an Aries. Definitely check that video out. But yeah, that's required. You don't always have to do everything the exact same in order for compatibility to be there. You know, you don't have to spend every waking moment with each other. You don't have to have the same interests, you know. It's just all at the end of the day, whether or not this person is truly your ride or die in all the ways that you need them to be as a partner, as far as support, and then as far as being able to be transparent enough and to be able to be an effective communicator, you know, somebody that is gentle with you and your spirit, especially when you're going through hard times, somebody that really just is considerate about you, right, in the midst of wanting to be independent. So those things that matter, and of course more things that matter to you that would be different than how I perceive a relationship and how it should go and what I personally need. So again, I feel like you guys are looking at those types of things, those principles, those laws, making those amendments. But again, just at the end of the day, if you know that this is a phase, this is something worth waiting and riding the waves through and not giving up too soon before you see the glory, you know? So that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. If this reading resonated, give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family. Again, subscribe if you haven't, and book with me should you need to. But if I don't hear from you, then please just take care of yourself and soul until you see me again. Ciao.